again, back is the incredible.
All right, so what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Lost Crates. I think I lost count of what episode this is, so we just deep in it. Yo, I'm your host, Hakeem Rashad Muhammad, and to my left, most definitely deaf, is my baby brother.
What's happening, world? Once again, it's your guy, J Mac. Excited to be back on The Lost Crates. Glad y'all joining us again for another episode. Got a special treat for you, one of my old school comrades from back in the days, you know what I'm saying? Used to do his thing. My man Solomon, aka Jumbo. Welcome to the show, man. Good to see you, bro.
Oh, it's good to be here with you brothers, man. Too long, right?
Yes, sir.
Look at this
yes,
brother's
sir.
look, man.
Yes,
He looked regal. He looked like a Black Panther, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh my God. Revolution. That's what I'm saying. Revolution, brother. Hey, so couple of things. Thing one is tell us one is it's really cool having you on here because you're like, there's a lot of people we interview from the town, but you are actually from the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? You like around the corner from me, and I watched you grow up, making myself feel old, seeing how well you're doing. So what you doing right now, bro? What are you up to these days?
Right now, creating, and being a tool. Instead of, you know, once we get older, we feel like we got to tell everybody and show everybody how to do things. Right. I actually am learning from the younger cats. I mean, they asked me to be mentors. So there's like this incubator in Oakland called Zoo Labs. I did that for a few years, and then I just branched off. And instead of doing it in a setting, actually just do that on the, you know, any artist, if they want me, they call me in their session, and it's not so much so advising, it's just vibing with them and get, you know, like, what do you hear? Right. That's the language. It's just like, what do you hear? So it's like showing them I collaborate this way with no judgment. It don't matter if I've been touring, it don't matter if I recorded, it don't matter if I've been, you know, if y'all don't know, if y'all never heard of me, it don't matter. You want my ears, you know what I'm saying? Let your music speak to me, and then I just, you know, speak on it. And doing a lot of that, and also the world of licensing music has been good to your brother. Yeah. Let me say that. So each one teach one, I'm giving it right back. You know, a lot of cats right now are really struggling because of the right after the shelter in place, and the fact that we can't do nothing live, we missing all our folks, you know what I'm saying? We still have to have other means and streams to keep our financial situation stable. And I was actually already doing that. So I'm just passing that information with which is what I led with. I'm just passing that along, you know.
Man, you are ahead of the game, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You're doing better than us. We from the late 80s, we had to like learn the hard way. So about licensing and all that kind of stuff, we learned afterwards. Like, oh, okay, so that's where the money is. So man, more power to you, my brother. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. And it took a while. Don't get me wrong. It took a while, you know, and that's the thing is there's language that comes along with it. So when you tell somebody, be patient, your time will come, they looking at you like, that's easy for you to say because you already hit. You already caught a placement. You already got on somebody's record. You know what I mean? Right. And so the language is like, you know, there's going to be the 11th hour. There's going to be versions. There's, you know, and so the whole thing is I like to give them the game of have your versions already ready. So it ain't no 11th hour. So, you know, you're actually steering them to what you want to give them as opposed to them going through your entire library and making you create something from scratch, making something that's not even really you, or you singing or rhyming or being with poetry, doing something that's not really from you. And now you don't even sound like yourself, and now they putting a price on it, and then they reject it, and you feel like, you know what, I don't even want to do this no more. So instead of going through that, which I've been through, y'all been through, I'm just giving them the short version of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know y'all dealt with lawyers, y'all dealt with managers.
Man, you bringing up, man, you wounded me right now. Oh,
you know what I mean? But that experience,
it was definitely a learning experience, man. And you know, one of the things that we peep was how easy it is for someone that has more knowledge than us to take advantage of younger folks that may not know the game. You know, for instance, some of our management wanted some of our royalties, you know, and before we signed on the dotted line, was like, hold on, we gonna check into this real quick. You know, come to find out, 3 years after our management contract was gonna expire, they would still be getting riders' royalties. You see what I'm saying? So like Hakeem said, you know, back then, there wasn't as many avenues either as there is now. Now you got the download action, you got more TV show action, you got the
YouTube,
you got Netflix
right now.
that's paying money for people for licensing deals and stuff like that. So getting back to you though, bro, in your early beginnings of your music, you know what I mean? Tell us a little bit about that. Like, you know, what got you into music? You know, you was mentioning the library, so you know, you got some in the crates, you know what I'm saying, from the Lifesavers and you know what I'm saying. So tell us about what inspired you to pick up the mic, to make a beat, to play some records.
You know, my grandmother had this piano, this upright piano sitting there, and she'd always leave the lid up so so you could just go on and walk past and boom, 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 whatever. You know, that was like, she said, do that before you leave the house. So music's on your mind, even if you know, just hit a note. And she'd have books on there that I didn't understand. I was like, I don't know what those, you know, the notes and the scales and all that, it just looked foreign. And so she would slowly kind of like get me on it. And then she said, show me what you like, you know, Kool and the Gang, Earth, Wind and Fire, Funkadelic Parliament, you know, gospel that got drum breaks like y'all had in your band. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go to that church. I want to sound like that. And so she made my hand hit like a jazz chord, and she saw the way I responded to it, and she was like, you gotta go to the Uncle house. So my Uncle Chuck had this record collection that he was so meticulous with it and how he kept it in order like a library. You know what I'm saying? There's that word again, right? And if he left the room, it was don't touch my records, right? He actually caught me, and he saw how I was putting things back, and he said, you understand the order of this, the arrangement of this. And so, you know, he sort of was showing me like DJing. He turned his volume up, changed the record, turned the volume down, changed the record, and that sort of got me, you know, watching, okay, I want to find out how to DJ. And y'all gonna laugh at this one. There was this small little spot called the Burning Spear.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was waiting for it to hit you. All right?
Yes, I know exactly. Oh my gosh, shout out.
Right.
So I heard MCs up in there, you know.
Right.
What they doing? Is they singing? What is they doing? And I heard the music. I said, I want to be a part of that. They wouldn't let me in, you know what I mean? So to continue on with that, I started to, you know, watch brothers like y'all do it in the park, where the shows that I could get in, I wanted to see how things happened before the show started. I was like, if I'm gonna learn this, I want to learn every part of this, because I don't know which one I'm gonna be, you know, good at. Yeah. And if I'm gonna have a job, if I'm gonna have a career, I was always already like, I want to do this for like forever. So I want to know all of it. So I learned a little bit about the mixing board. I learned about how they, the wiring, the lights, the smoke, anything that had to do with a production. I wanted to learn what that meant, so that when I saw people calling themselves producers, I understood like the full realm of that. And I watched, there was a little interview of Quincy Jones, the recording of the Off the Wall record, right?
God,
and he
got me too. Go ahead. Yeah. That got me too, bro. Right? I already know where you're going. Yes.
So I remember everything he talked about. My uncle actually told me that's how the records are made. And it was just such a connection that I said, oh, so this is a continuation of that. Then let me try and do that. And from the lessons I had taken lessons, you know, clarinet, trumpet, none of that stuff really stuck. I got it, you know, but I was like, okay, my lips ain't as big as Dizzy Gillespie because they keep splitting,
right.
You know. Then I got in a little rumble. I got in a little rumble coming home from practice, and I binged somebody in the head with it. My mom was like, "Okay, that's the end of that."
You hit it with the clarinet.
I took the clarinet out. I was like, I don't like this anyway, so I just broke it.
Sorry. Oh my God, man. Versatile is one of my favorite lyricists here in town, besides my brother J Mac, and I say that a lot. Versatile is lyrically really, really, really nice. And I remember I worked at a record store for a minute, One Stop Records, shout out. And I heard this group called Lifesaving, right? And first of all, I was blown away by how good the production was. I was like, in town I hadn't heard too many people just on a nice level production. Then somebody's like, yeah, it's produced by Jumbo. Had no idea who that was. I gotta find who this Jumbo dude is. For a while, I think I read in the Marlon Irvin, aka Verse, who told me that you actually produced a lot of that stuff. Blew my mind because I remember you just being in the hood. You hung with another cat named David Calamafone, and I was telling Jay Mack earlier it was funny because there was like 3 groups of people like from this neighborhood who were like inseparable. There was Hakeem and J Mac, there was Troy and Hyde, and there was David and Solomon. So I just remember you from doing that. So when exactly did the Isaiah stuff happen? Because to me, it just came out of nowhere. I had no idea that you brothers was even working on something that high.
And that's we were perfectionists. That's how we moved. We didn't like really revealing it until, we felt like it was competing with whatever else everybody else was hearing. Right. And the other piece is with the Isaiah stuff, we felt like we were on something groundbreaking. So specifically with gospel was notorious for covering sometimes, covering well, and the opposite of that, spoofing, popular songs. And so we looked at it like we want to come with original gospel songs, but that really got like straight boom bap, your feel in there with the live band and all that. And so we was like, if we don't have it tight, we can't come out with it, because if we come with it, if it's sloppy, somebody else can take it. So the irony, the funny thing with that is Verse and I hadn't worked together before. Well, before Isaiah happened, we hadn't done like the rhyming thing yet, right? Yeah. So we were in Bosco's basement. I was in a group, right? And I was over in high school. And we was doing
Bosco, right?
Bosco, Talk Box Champion.
Yes. I just want to get that out there. Yeah, I just want to get that out there because you say, I don't want you to gloss over how nice my man Bosco is doing big things. Go ahead, continue, my brother.
Exactly. Shout out Bosco Electro Spit. Yes. So Big Red and I we were actually working on stuff in his bedroom so that we could perform at Grant High School and at the high school assemblies.
So you a general?
I was a general first.
That's what I'm talking about.
I was a general first, and then I transferred to Wilson and became, the state champ Trojans. You know what I mean?
I got you. All right.
State champ generals too. So just so you know,
we got beat by the state champ generals with Terrell Brandon first, and then then the next year we came back and handled our business.
There you go.
Right. That's good games back then, boy.
Oh my God, yeah.
Man. Yes. So Saul, how do you feel like as far as with on the DJ side of things, like the new technology that's out right now? I've asked a question to a few DJs that we've talked to about what do you feel is better as far as flipping through the crates or using your digital turntables, you know what I mean? Because I know a lot of DJs, they still got both. They still got their 1200s, they got their CDJs, they got the Serato now, you know what I mean? How do you feel about the new technology and what it brings to the game?
I love it because workflow, you just get things done so much faster, and then on top of that, music has to evolve, or else it won't sound good. You know what I mean? You don't want to rehash the same thing all the time. You has to evolve. So there has to be new elements that allow that to happen sonically and whatnot. And I use all of it, right? I made sure for this that, you know, because we was talking about gospel and my production origins and all of that, you know what I mean? I made sure I brought, you know, some gospel, you know, stuff that I was sampling.
Crates, man. What you done pulled out the crates? Wait, hold that up again. You see that?
You know what I mean? This that fire choir right here. It's
that's Florida.
So it's interesting because it says it's the West Coast Gospel Chorus of Florida. So when I saw the record, all I saw was the West Coast Gospel Chorus. Off top. You know what I mean? And the reason that's important for just my evolution in terms of music, using still sampling and even replaying some things from those, hearing something that I like and flipping it and then replaying it, is to keep the integrity of the sounds. Because like that choir was just in the church. So while they're playing, if I sample something, you're gonna hear Sister Johnson, all right.
Yeah.
And that's what brings life to part of the music. You feel what I'm saying? In terms of licensing, y'all know this, now they clear samples, where there was a time where if you didn't tell them what you
it was the Wild West.
Yes. Oh yeah, you was getting sued. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
And
exactly.
So the technology and just what I learned coming up and applying all of the things to it has allowed me to not just keep my music and stay relevant, but it's allowed me to sort of reimagine my music and make it timeless. And the beauty of that is I started with the funk and the soul and the boom bap stuff, but then, you know, I'm not gonna try to take credit for being the first person to sample no record or nothing like that, but I'm definitely in the conversation in terms of like hip hop records that everybody was nodding their head to. Me, myself, I was sampling some of that early Lifesaving stuff that y'all was like, who did the production? Some of that is gospel samples, and that was way before you heard like Ye do it, or way before you heard RZA do it, or way before you heard.
I give you that, bro. I mean, Jumbo has a sound, and that's what I was kind of wanted to say to you, because I'm a producer myself, and then the people I work with kind of know. If I gave J Mac something, he knows that's his brother. He knows that's Hakeem. I just have like a signature. Your signature is so different than anything I've heard before that. So that's what got me kind of like, oh my God, this brother is on some next level stuff right there. And I just wanted to and I never got a chance to actually say that to you. So I'm taking this opportunity to say, dude, your shit is bomb. I don't know how else to put it. The other thing I want to say is, right, and that's coming from the heart. The other thing I want to say is I really appreciate you saying your philosophy on the new stuff, because one of the things that Jay and I used to run into, like being rappers back in the early 80s to late 80s, is people who were older than us not appreciating or respecting what we do. You know, we're real musicians, we do this. You guys are just these hippity-dippity-dip, and they never took it seriously. We always loved the fact that there were some people who did. Street music band. Shout out to all those brothers, Chazaray, remember Chazaray? Rusty Cox would let me play. Those brothers literally said, these young dudes, this is what music is right now, you know, and we just got to follow them. They would let us open shows for them. They would let us do all kind of stuff. And I never wanted, so when I experienced that, I never wanted to be the old get off my lawn dude. I just wanted to say that I'm happy that your philosophy is all the new stuff is just basically music, and how you're kind of flowing with that. You know what I'm saying? How, you know, making this, and just because they do it a different way than you kind of came up doing it, that doesn't lessen it. And I never wanted to be that old dude going, this ain't music, this ain't nothing. I have the same philosophy. These young dudes coming up, I'm learning from them, I respect them, and I like the fact that they do it a little differently than we did. You know what I'm saying? There's no right way. It's hip hop. Hip hop is here. Hip hop is not my beat. Not hip hop is here. So long as it's here, boom, they good with me.
Absolutely. We had an advantage also is that we actually got to put a record out and see our name on it, right?
Yes.
And people buy it, pick it up, pass it around, and then even come, at the end of the life cycle years later, find it in the dollar bin and get humbled. You understand what I'm saying? Hopefully you never saw any of them on the highway. Okay.
Right, I know.
Right.
Or taped over. Got the little remember you can put the thing over your cassette tape. All right, so man, this has been I say this every episode, but this has been like one of our more fun episodes.
Man, I've seen it.
Yeah. And we may have to do this again. Literally, we may have to do this again. Just to
drop it in. I'm cool with that.
Okay, but what I would like is for you to give us a little sample of something that you've done in the past. Like, what would you like to bless us with today?
Man, let's do the Gutterfly joint off of Lifesaving's album, Gutterfly the soundtrack. Let's hit him with that one.
G-Fly G, Flash Flicks, come on.
Get fly in the, get fly. Get fly in the, get fly. Get fly in the, get fly, fly. Get fly in the, get fly, fly.
You style, make your own rules and flamboyant, fly, exclusive, ultra swag, clever, the music, gutter fly. Batman, folklore, Stagger Lee, Mr. Mayhem. Tip hats off, don't deal with a devil, get an amen. But orange leopard skin leather, bamboo straw with a big ram. Trapeze artist, Christine Pharaoh's daughter. Juilliard edition in the dance hall action. Thriller wear Black Jackson, he's scratching for Lucchini. Sleepy Floyd, Big Brother, Bumpy Siamese. Your man's gotta fly. Picture the ear with no ID.
Dazzling white behind sentiment tent. VZO, me and Mikimoto getting drenched. And Labiano with sex in the bottle for us. Cause lots of us like lots of lust with Chini plus. But sunscreen, California 10 with your theme. Through my vanilla lens, I can see when she lean. Pretty espresso, stripping out Canadian furs. Can your curves make turns? Cause your words do slur. At cocktail hour, she devour all of my drink. Miss Terracotta, can you spread your legs on my sink? Let's hit Saratoga, take the Concorde and fly to the Emerald Avenue. Ride, cruise the lights in.
You style, make your own rules and flamboyant, fly, exclusive, ultra swag, clever, the music. Gotta fly.
Yeah, like a mix of Serpico and Shaft. Did it for cash and body snatch and relax in the low Omega Men. Into the Dragon, Excelente, Cadillac, Alante, making sorcerers. We low, but we ultra magnetic. Love 'em with long legs and athletic. Chest game, mic check, collect on the next installment. Parading my days and days in.
Standing room only. In walks the emperor. Custard pull over the bow brim signature. Spit shine him shorty. Pet the snake. Snatch 101 in the clever kids. Case and cake. With my eye on the maroon. Stretch bucket to brace. Vines beam to a beacon. Never guess I'm leaking. 30 long shine. I brought the rent check to spin. Fly nature in my gutter. Extend the Ho Chi Minh. Stamps have value cash bottles and ran horses. For the boot cut stiffs and low butter pecan forces. Bogus visa charged. The numbers build in Sicily. We greet the morning pick 'em ink and make history fly.
You style, make your own rules and flamboyant, fly, exclusive, ultra swag, clever, the music. Gotta fly.
Yes, y'all in to the camp and lower. I'm saucy with the Caesar, wave the Ruger out the Rover. We coasting, swerving with multiple Lucchini. I puff the reefer roaches and Galuso Riuniti. The cutter, the oxen, that herb been really screaming. The Mac 11 called them so subtracting from your teaming. The Crooklyn, the Boogie, and can't forget the Queens in. The Harlem River Drive and all the boroughs in between.
Shyster mode, prep the peasants to the pedigree. My instant vintage bends letters into legacy. Come children to the million style seminar. And my myth of Minotaur, gray ghost of Tennyson. Max Julian charm admirers paid a glance. I'm Beethoven's greatness manifested on baby grands. Acrylic clear speak pedal geeks the motto. Wait, sleepy close the curtain, I exit to the Bravo.
You style, make your own rules and Flamboyant, fly, exclusive, ultra swag, clever theme music. Gutter fly. Mystique, Peacock, holding Pandora's V-Box. Pull out a rocket launcher, cats jumping out they Pradas and they Reeboks. Me not move. Mo had the drop, Chi and Bumpy got the jewels. 185-pound catfish, cannonball ad-libs, crushed velvet vocab, operation bread basket. Letter 23, Shuggy O is 24. Blowing longhorns from Texas, I'll be sure out the door.
She raising my raging bull, I blaze through Jack Dazing. For that, I'm half amazing. Hit the Alps and blade run 'em. Hannibal, animal skin vest. Them cannibal kids, they can't get shit. Texas chainsaw spinning around the ring. You blink the snowmobile backflip Mac. Mix and make hats, links is link it. Grease lightning, kiting high as Phuket. But
Get fly, get fly, get fly, get fly in a get fly, get fly in a get fly.
Ain't no black Superman, man. Dig it, man. I would be the first, Lord, and nobody would mess with me, man. Nobody, man, 'cause like I would be the
fly.
So Saul, if people want to check you out more, hear what you got going on, possibly collab with you, how can they get a hold of you? What's your handle?
Jumbo is Dr. Ama. IG. Jumbo is Dr.AMA. Instagram.
Got it,
There
man.
you have it. There you have it.
All right, so this has been,
Drop 'em with
like I
that
said, yes. This has been one of our more lively episodes of The Lost Crates. I am your host, Hakeem. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Say something cool, Jay Meezy.
Hey, something cool, Jay Meezy. No, actually, check this out, y'all. Big ups to everybody checking out the channel. Shout out to all the DJs out there that's been, blessing us with some great interviews. And shout out to all the up-and-coming DJs that we might be interviewing in the future. And make sure you guys check Hakeem and I out every Friday night on X-Ray FM 91.1 on your FM dial, or 107.1 every Friday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Y'all hitting y'all with some of that old school with a little new school flavor too. You know what I mean? Peace and blessings.
Yes. Thanks to Jumbo, and we out.
Once again, back is the incredible